Richard, up here at Musley Bank, very different to 2020 when we were up here. How have you found this spring compared to what you went through last time round?
I think there was an awful lot of uncertainty this time last year. I think one of the things that we were told by the powers that be that there wouldn't be many two-year-old races. So of course we're preparing two-year-olds, and then we backed off them, and then lo and behold there was 12 two-year-old races. It was a lot different, but look, it was strange times for everyone, and it's nobody's fault. It just we were like everybody else, just making decisions as the weeks went on, you know. But a little bit more positive, and we're able to train as normal now, which is great.
How did you and your team come through last season? How did you find it as an overall challenge?
It was tricky now because the government sort of had a fear factor of this virus, which rightly so, and it affected different members of staff in different ways. So when it sort of was getting quite serious, we did actually go into lockdown. I moved some of the lads in with me. Everybody that was out of the yard were either living on their own or living with another member of staff. So we literally did go into lockdown for lockdown quarantine. We're very lucky here. We've got a lot of beds. I think we'd 25, 26 staff on site, and we furloughed sort of 7 people, which I didn't want to do, but it because of the fear factor that we were all led into, that's what happened, and it just meant the other lads had to pick up the slack a little bit. We sort of had to work an extra half hour, which I had to pay them double, which was grand. But once we sort of got over the fear factor, and it sort of got a little bit easier, but we've just carried on as normal, really.
How did you keep staff morale up during it all? Because it must have been a really difficult time for you all.
It was really, but to be fair to the lads, we're very lucky with a lot of young kids here, and they don't ever see any danger, do they? And they sort of kept our morale up. I mean, it was a little bit boring for them. They couldn't go out on weekends, but you tend to see that the different houses were having barbecues and different things like that. So they were keeping everything social and everything right. It worked well for them now. So they've probably got to know each other an awful lot better now, you know.
And you can see the procedure you've got in place here, these hand sanitising stations, face masks for all offices, indoor buildings. That must have taken some getting used to as well.
I'd like to say I organised it all, but the girls in the office sorted all that out. But it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty routine, so it wasn't complicated. We didn't have to move any bridges to get it in place.
And how are you finding being on the race course again now?
Weird, absolutely weird. I've been to a few tracks. It just seems odd there that you're shouting at your owner over a rail and different things like that. But this is what we've got to do. At least we're racing. It would have been a disaster if we were locked down for a year now. I don't know what would have happened then. But it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But fine, great, we're racing.
And light at the end of the tunnel, crowds in some form due to return next month. How much are you looking forward to a sense of normality when you get to the racecourse?
I think everybody on the planet is wanting a bit of sense of normality, and to get crowds back, and you know, it'll be fantastic.